So, if you're lucky, lucky enough like me to have one of these beautiful kits on your bench, there's something you might want to consider getting as a little extra for it. Now, I think as far as aftermarket goes with this kit, it's going to be pretty limited because it is such a complete model. You're getting a full styrene airframe and you're getting a lot of 3D printed parts for adding some absolutely incredible detail. We have a beautiful instruction manual. We have brass undercarriage leg inserts. It's got the harness in there. You've got your normal sort of 3D printed cockpit set for the aircraft, for the model from Airscale, with the decals that are sandwiched in behind acetate and stuff. And then you've also got window masks and everything. So it's pretty much complete. But if certain modelers like to use masks rather than decals. Now the decals that come in this kit, it's not a very big sheet. There's not really a lot to put on it. But they are they're printed by Fantasy Print Shop, and I've found them to be absolutely lovely, these decals to use. I've only ever used them in the Airscale cockpit sets, and they've been absolutely wonderful. They are, as you can see, pretty glossy. They're not particularly thick, but they are very nice for colour density and everything, as you can see there. Now what they've done here, they've got the white really nice and thick, and they've given you the red central part of the roundel as a separate piece. And then we've got all our stencils over here and everything, and we've got our two different serial numbers and that there. We've got all the instrument panel and everything here. So very nice indeed. But you may wish to paint your own insignia on and paint your own stencils on. That way you can fade them, you can choose the correct colour, you can sand them back and all sorts of stuff. Of course you can sand decals, but sometimes when you sand decals you sand through to white, as we all know, whereas if you paint the insignia on, then basically it's paint. It's going to sand through to the green or the brown or whatever's underneath it, so or the grey in this case. So there we are. So that's your kit. You've got your decals and everything else in there. The options that come with the kit, I've done a review of this kit in full if you want to go back and have a look. I did it a few weeks ago. I've since been sent this kit by the lovely Peter over at Airscale. So we have generic stencils and everything. We've also got stencils for our bombs, and we've got templates there for cutting out the acetate. That's what that is. It's not like in that border model Heinkel I've just reviewed. It's giving you, it's not for cutting masks, it's for cutting out the acetate. So we've got the JP843 as one option. Obviously in the day colour schemes we've got the identity stripes there underneath the wings. So you can see there, and everything's pretty much in sky. And as you can see on the decals, the lettering is pretty much all in sky colour. And then we've got our roundels on the wings, roundels on the fuselage and everything. And then the other option we've got in the box is R8884, which has got this nice white banner on it. And we've got the black and white undersides with the identification stripes there. So we can see here there's a bit of information about the Typhoon Legacy company, of which a portion of the kit goes to them to help in the restoration of their Typhoon. So that's the two options you get in the kit. Now you may wish to use masks and paint your own insignia and everything, in which case One Man Army once again has come to the rescue with this set. And this is DET, well it's 32 DET060. And this set basically contains all of your stencils and all of your insignia. It's currently available over at Hannants if you're in the UK, so you can go and get yourself a set over there. And in here you get the same two options. This is what Sven normally does. You get the same two options as you get with the kit. So basically you've got R884 HFL and OVT JP843. We've also got our roundels, we've got our fin flashes, we've got all our stencils and some miscellaneous bits and pieces. Now I'm not going to go through the usage of these masks, which I've covered in many videos which you can go back and look at. But basically you can see here that we've got a top side view, an underside view, and the right and left side views. So you can see here, this is all your generic stencil placements. Okay, hatch is missing in the kit, check your references. So, oh dear Peter, you missed a hatch, something you'll have to scribe in there. And then we've got you know, the fuel 100 octane and everything, and our bonding labels going on the ailerons and everything there. So really, really nice, very nicely done. I'm surprised there's no bonding on the upper surfaces of the tailplanes and elevators. I would have thought there would have been. Is it called up in the instructions perhaps? I would have thought that there always was on Hurricanes and Spitfires and stuff. No, there's nothing called up here, so check your references. I'm probably wrong, but never mind. So there we go. I also notice in this mask set we get a stencil for the port side of the cockpit. Now, when we come to assembly of the cockpit, I'm wondering, is there a decal placement going on here? Is it going on the cockpit wall? Just wondering where the fuselage halves come together. Again, check your references and have a look and you'll see where it goes. I may be missing something here, but you'll see where it goes. But basically, yeah, there's a stencil, as you can see here. It's the same on both aircraft. Portside cockpit stencil. It's a bonding strip, a bonding sign, sorry. So decal number 8, and then this one obviously has got the set of different decal because it's got the different serial numbers on there. But basically, that's what you're getting in the set. Here you can see the masking sheet itself. So there you go, and if you could make that out on there. Maybe if I turn this upper light on, it will make them easier to see. There we go. So you've got your large roundels there. You've got your roundels there with the the white band in there, and then you've got the roundels here with the yellow band around the outside as well. And then these are our fill-in pieces. So what Sven recommends you do is paint and camouflage your aircraft, transfer the whole, let's just take the wing roundel because it's simple, the whole wing roundel using masking tape as a transfer. So you put it on, rub it down good and strong, and then take the whole lot off, place that on your model, remove the center, mask off around here and this edge, paint the red, okay, and then use one of these fresh inserts, put it back in the center, have it all nicely aligned, remove this piece and then paint your blue, and then remove everything, and you've got a painted on roundel that you can sand and choose your colors for and everything, and have a really nice thin, you know, we always go for that painted on look, don't we? Well, here you've got the painted on look because it's painted on. Again, the same with these here. Now what I tend to do, and I'm going to be showing you this very shortly in a B26, sorry, the B26, the A20 build. I don't know where I got B26 from. I'm going to be spraying the white first, and then I'll put the masks over. Even before any camouflage, I'm going to spray the mask first, and I'm going to put the decoration on the model before I paint the green. So make sure you tune in for that one. So yeah, there we go. So that's how that goes. And then again here we've got fill-ins. So once we've done the center, we can put these in here and fill in that whole area to do the yellow band around the outside. So very nicely done indeed, as usual from Sven. We've got our serial numbers here, and then we got our fin flashes down the bottom here. And you will notice that anything here with an X on it, like you can see there is an X. We have an X here, we have an X there. Wherever there's an X, it's a spare, so you can test it out. These are actually laser cut, they're not die cut, so you can imagine they are extremely finely cut. You can see on there those little masks there. So I would seriously recommend some transfer tape on there. Pick out the little arrow where it says trestle here, pick out the arrow, and then I would seriously suggest a piece of transfer tape to keep all the lettering together. Transfer tape is basically there. You can imagine if I came along and took off this masks from the outside. In fact, I'll show you here. if I can get to my knife, which is under the various bits of paper I've got here, clear my throat. Basically, the first thing we do is get a little scrap of masking tape, stick it underneath the left hand corner, and then we know that's the left hand corner, and it also makes it easy to peel off the model. We put a square piece of masking tape over the top to keep the shape. If you don't do that, if you don't use transfer tape, you take this off, okay, and it's going to be extremely difficult to keep it round. So you want to place that on your model. You know, we use this here. You can imagine it's going to be extremely difficult to keep it round. Whereas if you use transfer tape, you can take it off, lift it off with one piece, the whole lot, and it keeps everything in shape. So we've got basically some generic instructions here, which I've gone through a million times now. So I'm not going to go through those again. But basically, there we go. So I believe Sven has worked with Peter on developing this. So so there we go. So very, very nice indeed. When I finally get around to building this, I will use these. I believe I've got the ones for the Defiant as well. So so there we go. Right. Thank you for watching. I'll see you all soon. As I say, these are available from Hannants, and if you want to see these being used, stay tuned to my A20 build, and you're going to see me doing the American insignia on that one, and I'm going to be doing it backwards. I'm going to put the insignia on before I spray the model. So that might be quite interesting for you to see. The only reason I do that, if you put the white on, in the experiments I've done various videos, you can go back and have a look. If you search One Man Army on my sort of homepage thing, you'll see there's one in there where I show you 3 or 4 different ways of doing this. And if you go the way that's suggested by putting the livery down on top of the paint, whenever you use white, you do tend to get a bit of an edge, which can always be sanded back. But the trouble is with the white, is it needs to be quite, you know, deep. And the other thing to remember when you're using these is don't just get your airbrush. Let's just grab an airbrush. The first one I've grabbed, it's just the big Galeri GHAC. You've got your wing there, you've got your stencil down. Don't just go and that's it. Come in from all the angles and keep the paint dry. Okay, you don't want it to be wet, you don't want any bleeding. But if you keep coming from 4 different angles like that, then you're guaranteed to get a nice sharp crisp edge. If you just go in like this, you can imagine the bottom edge here would be soft because you're spraying over the edge of the tape, whereas you're spraying into the edge at the top. So you have been warned. Alright, so thank you for watching. That's the set there, 32 DAT060, and it's designed for the Airscale kit. There's no reason why you couldn't use it on any of the 32nd scale Typhoons that are out there, should you want to. I mean, they'd have to be way, way, way out of scale for these to not fit. Okay, so I'll see you all soon. Thank you for watching. Bye for now.